Old trucks are hot, and one of the hottest is this Ford we found in Mexico. Do you know what it is?
The orange Ford? Yeah. And it's like the suburban style of a Ford.
The giant Neon X is a landmark in Juarez, and it's like old dark 30. We're headed to Juarez International for a flight to Mexico City. It's going to get there about noon.
What do you think, Michael?
It's a nice little truck. Have you ever seen one, Jerry?
Never.
This is what they call a B100. They only made them in Mexico, I believe.
We waited to trade our dollars for pesos on the Mexican side because such a big wad of cash would be pretty hard to hide. One US dollar brought more than 18 Mexican pesos, so we didn't want to make a scene.
What year is it?
1976.
You know how many years they made them?
I have no idea on that. Fishes are really hard to find.
We hired a driver, a professional, to chauffeur us around. 8.8 million people in this big old town. Notice the B100 has a single door on the driver's side, and as we move to the back, you've got two doors. They call those barn doors. They're suicide style. And then on the passenger side, they have two doors. Now those two doors are real handy for picking up passengers like on the sidewalk. And then as you look inside, you'll see 3 bench seats. That middle one has a little less width to it to allow access to this rear seat, which is full width. And then as we look in the front, the cab resembles a pickup truck, which this chassis actually started life as an F-150 pickup. And you see the manual shift with the clutch down here. They were all 4 speeds. Ford Motor Company manufactured only the chassis. Chassis started life as a pickup, and a third-party outfitter installed the body, which has all that space inside. Oops, looks like that back door's locked. So I wanted to open up these rear barn doors and just see the storage capacity behind that back seat. Plenty of room for luggage, and then looking over that seat you can see how much leg room there is there and how this is a really luxurious SUV.
What do you think?
Yeah. Kinda cool.
You ever seen one, or is this the only one?
No, we actually bought a couple of months ago. We bought one in Juarez, one like this, but not as good as this one.
Not as good.
Yeah. Yeah, but this one is pretty cool.
So they're just kind of rare.
Yeah, like an Do you see this? Like a step and another step.
Pues estamos más o menos poquito retirados tenía problemas.
This 1976 B100 has full paperwork, including an invoice that reveals the third-party supplier that custom built the truck and the original owners.
We need to go get 2 more.
Oh man, 2 more trucks. Now the second one is going to be another Ford B100, a little different than the one we just saw. And then the third truck is going to be a real prototype, something none of us have ever seen before. It's a Dodge. It's an early truck, and the paperwork you'll see shows this truck is the 6th off the line.
1 down, 2 to go. What's Toluca?
That's another town. It's only 30 minutes away from here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're going to Toluca, another town, 30 minutes away. Why does Mexico City, this is a city, but it looks like you're in the country some places. So we're really not in Mexico City?
Not anymore.
We're kind of in the mountains up high?
Yeah.
The driver was using his GPS to get us to the next address.
It says this is well over 100 years old.
Really?
These roads, yeah. look how narrow the roads are. They're not really roads, but look how narrow they are.
The road being narrow, I did not mind. But those bumps, man, they were getting really hard on my behind. Notice how the streets are lined with walls here. And behind this wall, a courtyard.
Hey,
Hi.
Jerry Heasley.
My name is Eduardo.
Good to meet you.
And let me
Take a picture.
Hi,
Okay?
Michael.
Hola, Michael. Adelante, bienvenidos. Sí, un Shelby GT500.
Shelby back there?
13.
Jerry era muy buen amigo con Carl Shelby.
¿Oh, sí?
Él es el que tomaba todas las fotos.
So this B100 owner was also a big Shelby enthusiast, and he had a shirt just like mine he showed me. And Shelby Mustangs, late models. So on to our second Ford B100 of the day. This one is 79 model, solid green in color with a white painted top. There you can see the one door on the driver's side, and then as we walk around the vehicle, get to the back, you see the two barn doors, but there's no steps leading up to the roof, and the roof is not equipped with a luggage rack, so I guess not necessary, didn't come on this vehicle. And then as we get on the passenger side, we see the two doors for picking up passengers. So very comparable to the 76 that we just seen. Inside we can also see this car has the 4-speed with that long floor-mounted shifter handle and the big ball on top, and it has the 3 bench seats that'll hold 9-10 people. And under the hood, I believe we're looking at a 302 small block Ford. It has some Edelbrock valve covers, but other than that, it looks stock.
Jimmy Vaughn, La Cena. Jimmy Vaughn.
It didn't take long to do this deal. The seller had full paperwork verifying the B100 status. Counting the money was probably the biggest chore. The B100 seller was anxious to take us to his home to show us another one of his Mustangs, a 1970 Boss 302. It's Calypso Coral. Notice here it has a beautiful red interior. It is behind these iron gates, which he opened for full access to view the back of the car. That's spoiler and rear sport slats. And then here's the engine. He also showed us his collection of memorabilia and how he could enjoy the car collecting hobby here at his house. The car collecting hobby transcends differences from one country to the next. We were just like old friends, and we shared a common interest, which was collecting and appreciating old Mustangs. He also took us by the local Ford dealership you see here, which this is just the most beautiful Ford dealership I've ever seen anywhere. And what made it really special for collectors is this Mustang Lounge, which the owner came out, was very excited to see us, and he was familiar with my work at Mustang Monthly.
Yes, my name is Fernando Mangino, and this is the Ford dealership called Himsa Automotriz. It's in Metepec in Toluca. It's a state northwest of Mexico City, and I believe we have one of the only Mustang lounges here in the country and possibly in the United States, except for maybe Galpin Ford in San Francisco.
We walked through this Mustang collection, and these are all his cars, but the local area Mustang clubs use this facility to introduce and unveil their restorations and to have get-togethers here. And what a great idea for a Ford dealership to have a Mustang lounge. Look at the quality of this display, those beautiful floors and the lighting, and how the cars have some separations where you can walk around and view them. And also, not everything's a Mustang here. I noticed a Thunderbird over here, and There's also memorabilia in these cases to enjoy and kind of get across the message to people that aren't collectors that Mustangs are special, and then you can go over to the showroom and buy a brand new one. When we left the Ford dealership, it was getting close to dark, and then it did get dark. We had a long drive back to the city, Mexico City, where the 72 Dodge SUV was, the prototype truck. Michael was on the phone making calls, trying to line it up. I couldn't believe that we could see it so late, but yeah, we pulled up down this alley to the back to a parking garage at an apartment complex in Mexico City, and what you see here is a 1972 D100 pickup, a Dodge, until you look at the sides. This is an SUV, but molded in the tough-looking image of a truck. And look, just one door on that passenger side. Raphael popped the hood to find a slant 6 engine with a propane conversion kit. This is probably the 225 cubic inch 6, and that would be stock. One door on the driver's side, of course, and each door comes with this trim that could be unique. This is a prototype, and we've never seen that trim before. Inside, those tan-colored fabric bucket seats are sure not original. You can see the stick coming out of the floor, so this is a 4-speed. You can almost bet the stock front bench seat was like this middle bench seat with this vinyl and zigzag stitching pattern. And then there's the rear seat also with the same vinyl and the same stitching pattern. So you're looking at a 2-door that hold 9 people, 3, 3, and 3. Walk around the back and you see the 2 barn-style doors, same as the Ford B100. And it's so gratifying to see this original paperwork. This is a Dodge D100 pickup carry-all. Carry-all. This invoice also contains a list of the options and accessories, plus look at this serial number, and it's very low, 200,006, and that engine number, 4 zeros and a 6. On the driver's side door jamb is the VIN plate, which is stamped with that 200,006, matching the paperwork. The trim tag also had the 200,006 in the lower right hand corner. So, no problem with this deal. Let's count those pesos, get the deal done. Ran a little short on pesos, had to use some dollars, and had to figure the conversion rate. Tony pointed out this handmade look to the roofline on the driver's side. That handmade look is even more pronounced on the passenger side roof.
Gracias.
Anyway, I'm ready to go find another car or truck or something. It's only 11 o'clock. We got an hour to midnight. Come on, guys, let's go.
Okay, Jerry, where are we going to breakfast?
Who needs sleep?
Where's the traffic light, Tony?
No one here.
How do people know?
Yo voy a cantar esta canción, yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente. Con una pasión tan fuerte. Ay, 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 ay. Ahora sigo cantando y sigo gozando. Yo sigo cantando y sigo gozando.
You don't like enchiladas, do you? Like chicken? What's chicken, isn't it? It's like enchilada, like the fria with, okay, so Jerry, sería la...
Okay, dale una agua con leche.
What is it?
Grande Bacon. No.
What's the prototype we're gonna see now?
It's a Dodge. It's supposed to be like a Suburban that they only made one of them.